Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And also, fellow Toastmasters and all of the guests that have joined tonight. You know, this is my second time to be the Toastmaster of the evening, and I am so pleased to have all of you here on the call. But before we start, I thought I would like to give a brief history of the Toastmasters Club and how the Toastmasters Club by MAHRP came into being. Toastmasters had its beginning nearly about 100 years ago, 96 years to be exact, when an American named Dr. Ralph C. Smedley decided that the young men who was working with him in the YMCA needed help with their public speaking skills as well as their ability to conduct meetings and plan programs. So he began a, a speaking club in 1905 for this very purpose, but it was in 1924 in the basement of YMCA in Santa Ana, California, that the first official Toastmasters Club was held. It was so successful that people in other areas replicated the model, and that was how the Toastmasters grew until it became the Toastmasters International in 1932. So it was exclusively male membership until the 1970s, and in 1973 we admitted our first female member. Her name was Helen Blanchard, and in 1985 Helen became the first female president. Since then, Toastmasters International had a number of other women as its international president. The most recent being Lark Dooley in 2018. Today, Toastmasters International, with its headquarters in Denver, Colorado, has almost about 360,000 active members in 143 countries and nearly 17,000 clubs all over the world. Not bad. As for Toastmasters Club by MAHRP, we started last year. We did a survey. We had about 350 members back then in the MAHRP area, right? And we asked how we could serve them better. And one of the things was that they needed some platform there where they could improve their public speaking, presentation, and also the overall communication skills. So that was the genesis of the whole idea of the Toastmasters Club by MAHRP. So we approached District 102, where John and Afia is from, and then we got their help and we formed our club in mid-March of 2021 with about 38 members. And since then, we have been going strong. So well done to all of the Toastmasters and all of the members for all the hard work that you are doing. It's amazing the journey that we have been able to go through. Even though through this COVID, we make sure that we find a way so that we can contribute, and then make sure that every Saturday we join, so we come together and we try to improve ourselves, right? Before we, like Afif said, that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the topic, which was a bit of a weird topic for some of us. When I said make friends with what you yet don't know, right? I think I have a tendency to come up with these these kind of things that are quite paradoxical, but allow me to take you through it, right? So I want you to take a moment, like our president just asked us to take some time to think and reflect on how much you know, right? I want you to think of a percentage, right? Are we thinking, right? So what did you get as a number? If you are anything like me, that wouldn't be much. It wouldn't be 75%. It wouldn't be 80% or 90, right? It would be somewhere around close to 10%, I guess, right? That's not much. That's not much at all. And now I want you to think about the percentage of what you know is true. Oh, and it will be continuing to be true. So that 10% that you just had has now become about 2 probably percentage, or 3, or maybe even 1%. So think about that for a while. And now, because it's very important, and this is also the reason why I chose this topic, because what we know is limited. It's limited in its width and its breadth, right? So we have got to understand that we have a lot to learn here. We have a lot to make sure that we get from everything that, because this is the reason why what you know is limited, but what you, and also it is, degenerating towards becoming irrelevant, wrong, or regarded as no longer relevant. But the opposite of it is that, oh, what you don't know, it holds all the treasure and all the secrets in the world. But what it also does is that it also helps you to regenerate and to regrow and to make sure that you are always growing as you go along. Because what you don't know, oh my goodness, it holds all the secrets of the world, right? So it is why I think it is so important that you make friends with what you yet don't know, because that's where all the beauty in the world and all of the secrets in the world lies. And then it would be a really great thing if you would be able to manage to make sure that you make friends with it, make sure you are always on the verge of learning something new. I mean, that's how I write. I mean, when I write, it means that I have to read a lot, because I think there is also something that is regarded by those people who make softwares and everything. Garbage in, garbage out. So what you put in your mind is what you are going to be able to put out in the world as well. So very important, right? So with that, I would also like to make sure that for the benefit of the members, that we talk to you about the structure of the meeting, right? The meeting is structured into 3 parts. The first is the prepared speech rounds, where members would be given the delivering speeches based on the projects and the pathways that they have chosen. And the second segment of the session is the table topics round, where members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet. Guests are also welcome to participate in this, because it really helps you to make sure that you can help with your speaking skill. I would tell you one thing. On the first day that I joined the Toastmasters session, I became an impromptu speaker. I took part in the table topics. I spaced out for like 20 seconds, but I think I am much better than I was on that day. So, I mean, all right. I think I have to say, life responds to the amount of effort that you put into it. It's not going to remain closed all the time, all the doors in the world. So the moment you show up, life responds. So you make sure that you put that in your mind as well. That is from my experience. And the third and final segment is the evaluation round, where all the prepared speeches as well as other aspects of the sessions would be evaluated by the general evaluator and his team. And so for the as a Toastmaster of the evening, it is also my duty and pleasure to introduce the role bearers who will be assisting me with the smooth running of today's sessions. It's not only me who will be doing all the talking and everything. I have a tech team who is going to be assisting me. So to keep track of the time spent by each speaker, please help me welcome the timer to today's meeting, Toastmaster Afia. Toastmaster Afia is the District 102 Administration Manager at Toastmasters International, and also an invaluable mentor to our Toastmasters Club. With immense thanks and gratitude, the floor is now yours, Toastmaster Afia. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to be here in Maldives, but unfortunately, I can't be with you all. But hopefully, in future, I will be meeting you. Now, as the timer, my role is to time all the speakers or the prepared speakers at a given allocated specified time. There are 3 speaking sessions that I'll be timing: the prepared speeches, the impromptu speeches, and the evaluation session. Now, let me demonstrate how I will be timing. Now, for the first session, which is the prepared speeches, which is 5 to 7 minutes, in that case, I'll be showing the green screen at the 5th minute, and at the 6th minute, it will be yellow, and the 7th minute, it will be red, and then the speaker has 30 seconds to wrap up and close the speech. So I'll be timing accordingly during the session. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Afia. Now, to keep track of the R's and ums during the meeting, we have an R counter of the day, Toastmaster Garnim. Toastmaster Garnim is also an active member of our Toastmasters Club. So with thanks, the floor is now yours, Toastmaster Garnim.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Athif, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So basically tonight, my role as the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch while speaking. Also, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, bet, so, and you know. Also, I will listen to filler sounds, including a, plus repetitive words. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garnim. And now to keep track of the good and the not so good use of grammar as well, we have the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Avina. Toastmaster Avina is the Human Resources Coordinator at Varu by Atmosphere, and it is also the secretary of our club. Also, thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Avina.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, saying, and thoughts we make for today evening. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day for today's meeting, and with the beautiful theme of the evening. The word is proficient, which means skilled or competent in doing or using something. An example of using this word is Ahmad is not only passionate but also very proficient at his work as a carpenter. So each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will be writing the word of the day in the chat box and reminding you all. And I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you. Have a good evening. And don't forget to use the word of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avina.